Hello, everybody on the Nightmare Road Show. I thought I would make a short video on how to take tests. Sounds silly, right? But there is an art to it. And years ago, many years ago, I'm old now, I took a class on how to take tests. And I'll never forget this. And I ended up teaching this in the Navy because it worked so well. So, most tests are multiple guess, right? You're at multiple choice, and there's usually A through D or A through E. And you go through your test and immediately answer everything that you know without hesitation. Don't even look at the stuff you don't know. Just move on right away. Don't struggle over it. Don't overthink it. Just go on. Let's say that there's 100 questions and it's multiple choice A through D with an occasional E thrown out there. But let's say in this case, your test is A through D. So you go back through, make 4 columns on your scratch paper, A, and then number them A, B, C, D. Then go through and count how many A's, B's, C's, and D's you knew automatically. And you put that number down in your appropriate columns. Most tests, and you know what you've been taught and what you may have heard, that the default is C, is BS. It is not C. Most tests are evenly weighted A through D, or A through E if there's a 5 choices throughout the whole test. But usually it's A through D, So you're going to need roughly 25 answers that are A, 25 B, C, and D. So you go through and you make your hash marks and you count. So let's say you've got 26 A's and 19 C's and just a little bit of C's or 19, let's see, 25, 26 A's, 19 C's, and then a few B's and D's that you've counted, right? And you put your hash marks in your columns. You know, if you've got around 26, 25 A's, that you probably don't need any more A's. So you go back through your exam and don't even look at A for the answer. Look at B's, C's, and D's with the weight on B's and D's because you already have 19 C's. There's going to be a few that you need to populate in that column, but most of your answer is going to be B's and D's. So you go back through, and with that in mind, you answer the ones, and it usually comes to you. You'll go, oh, of these choices, this one's the best. And then you're going to still have a few that you haven't answered. Go back through and count. How many do you have now? And most likely, you're going to have filled up those columns around roughly 25 for each one of those A's through D's. There's going to be one column that's lean. That's usually the column you go back through your test, and that's usually the answer. Now, how I know this works, when I was in the Navy and you do rate exams. So that's advancement exams like E3 to E4. You have to take an exam in your particular rate in the Navy. And when I took my exam, I did this. Now there's like 5 test proctors in there and they're watching you the whole time. They give you like all exactly the same amount of scratch paper, like let's say it's 5 sheets, and the pencil. They don't want you cheating, like they're going to have a hollow pencil. So they give you the pencil, they give you the scratch paper, and you are then required to hand back the pencil and the scratch paper when you're done. So I take my E4 exam. You wait it seems like it got off a long time to get your results, but when I was an air traffic controller, that was my rate. They only made 3 E4s when I was going up for E4. And when I get my test results back, I didn't miss one. Not one. 150 questions, not one. So, y'all heard of NCIS. Remember that TV show? Well, sorry, I'm closing on my windows as I talk to you. NCIS is a real thing. It's the Navy Criminal Investigation. NCIS. Navy Criminal Investigation S. What is the S for? Anyway, I don't remember. But anyway, they investigated me because they said, there's no way in the history of the Navy, we have never had a person not miss one question. And I said, well, I don't know what to tell you. Now I did study. You have to study, that's key. But I did study. But they're like, there's no way you answered all these correctly. I did. So they investigate me, and then they bring out the scratch paper. And of the like 5 sheets of paper, only one had any marks on it, and it was the columns. And they said, explain this. So I told them just what I told you. And they're like, that surely doesn't work. I said, well, give me the exam again if you don't believe me. They didn't. They let it go. And the next year I go up from E4 to E5. I missed one. And again, NCIS, they get a hold of me and they're like, there's no way. They said, we made one E5 in air traffic control and you were it. You only missed one. And I said, I don't. They said, you did the same thing again. I said, yes. So it was at that point that the commander on our base asked me, sorry, closing windows, it's a stretch, asked me to teach this method so that we could get more advancement on our base. And I did. And our numbers were climbing through the roof because people were advancing if they used this method. It wasn't my method. It was a method that was taught to me when I took this course in college. It was one of the very first courses I ever took. Saved my bacon, I don't know how many times. So remember this, play it back, learn this technique, because I'm telling you, I think 97%, 98% of the time it's going to work. And I hope it works for you, and I hope you ace your next exam.